Now I'm going to show you how you can take your SPSS output file and create the Excel file that you're going to need to be able to create the charts. And the reason why you want to do this is because SPSS is very, very limited in the charts it can create. As you might remember from your 349 class, you can create a basic pie chart and a basic bar chart or histogram using SPSS. However, Excel has so many more features and can make them look so much more professional that it's really better to do it in Excel instead. And that's going to give you some skills that will make your presentations and your reports look much better. So here we have the CHIS 2017 adult data file that we've been using. Now I'm going to go here and click Analyze. And these are some of the steps we're going to be doing in the assignment. So this will help you with that as well. Now let's just look at a basic frequency first. Now I'm more used to working with the variable name. So what I like to do is right click and then display variable names. So that way I get these names and I can do that instead. Now I'm going to go down here to a variable that we're just going to use as an example. We are going to be using in the assignment the same variables that we've been using, but here I'm going to look at AskCure. And the reason why I'm picking AskCure is that this is current asthma, and it's just a yes/no variable. Now you can see here that they've got a little scale mark next to it. Now why is that? Well, if you look in SPSS, you could see that all the measures say unknown. The CHIS programmers don't bother putting in whether or not the variables are nominal, ordinal, or scale variables. And so the program default is to put scale right here. So you have to know your own variables before you start working with them, because sometimes not all the information will be correct that is presented to you. Okay, so I know that this is rate of current asthma, yes or no. Do you have current asthma? We're going to use that. And then I also want to use some of those basic variables we were looking at, like SR sex is good. And now I'm going to take something new. It's a multi-category variable. It would be a nominal variable. And because I know how to work with CHIS very well, I know that this one right here, OMBSRR, is the race ethnicity variable that's most commonly used. It's called this because the Office of Management and Budget of the federal government creates this race specification. So I'm going to put that over here too. And then I'm just going to click OK to run these frequencies. And here comes my output window. And now we can see the frequencies of the variables that we looked at. So we've got the yes, no for current asthma, male, female for gender, and then the different race ethnicity categories that are in our data set. Now, if you notice here, mine says 21,153. Oh, oops, I forgot to do the rate W0. So that's pretty important. And this is one of those things when you can check and be able to tell what kind of data you're using. So let's make sure that we are using that rate W0 variable to be able to weight our cases. And you did that in the last assignment, but just to remind you how to do it again, rate W0, there we go. And now I'm going to rerun those frequencies again. And you can see here that in the output file, it does come up as a command. So when I ask you to just include the whole output file, those are the kind of things that I'm looking for too, is the commands that you've run. So descriptives, and then the frequencies, and of course they're all still here. And now in the weighted variables, you can see they've put in all of the different things. So now this is telling us these are nominal variables. So we'll click OK. And we get now the weighted frequencies for what we are looking at. And we know that this is the right total, this 29 million adults in our sample. So now we have the percentages that are the weighted percentages. And you can go back and see how much that changes things. So you see here Hispanic, it says 35.8%, whereas if you were using the unweighted, it's just 22.5. So it undercounts the Hispanic population in California by who responds. And white non-Hispanic changed from about 62% above to 41%. So it's very important to use the weighted data when it is available. It will give you a much more accurate picture of your population. Moving on, let's talk about how to export this file. So the way that you do it is you go over here to File and then Export. And then you have lots of different options here. Usually what comes up first is the text plane. That will be the first option that comes up. But you can scroll through and export it however you want. I recommend this Excel 2007 and higher. And then you want to put it where in the browser, the file that works for you. So you see here, mine is under our class because that's how I've been organizing things. And that's how I would change it. But it's up to you. This is the last one that I did. It's up to you to be able to file it however you want. Just press OK. And it will take a minute or two. Don't be surprised at that. And you might want to make sure that your computer is fully charged. But it shouldn't be more than 10 minutes or so for it to be able to export that file.